This is one of my favorite movies, and a year ago, Vault proposed to me at one of the most important locations from Your Name. So when we found out that for the 10th anniversary they were doing a movie showing in theaters, we just had to go, of course. And instead of just going to watch the movie, Vault decided to just make a whole day out of it. I woke up this morning to this little Pokémon surprise from Vault. Vulpix and Scorbunny are my starter Pokémon, and Pikachu is Voltaire's. The fact that he organized this whole thing with both of them was so ridiculously cute. I've recently really gotten into Pokemon cards, so this was really fun to see and open up in the morning. Plus I got a cute little Vulpix and Pikachu artwork that I'm gonna put in my journal. But somehow this was only the beginning of all the things he had planned for the day. I also decided to wear the same outfit that I got engaged in, which might feel a little cheesy, but considering where we got engaged, it felt pretty appropriate. Vault decided to turn the anniversary screening into a whole Your Name themed afternoon. We're starting off with Japanese coffee at Ogawa, which is my favorite coffee shop in Boston and the only location outside of Japan that they have in the US. Then we're heading to See Your Name and ending the night with Japanese food and also a Japanese bar. I originally found out about Your Name because people just kept talking about how beautiful the animation is. And it really is incredible, but it's only one out of many reasons why I loved Your Name. Taki and Mitsuha's dynamic is just so heartwarming. I loved how they interacted with each other. I loved all the little game and how their friendship and eventual relationship evolved over time. And then there's a shock of literal separation with time and space. It's just incredible how many obstacles and odds they had to overcome, yet they always managed to find each other. And then there's the music. I mean, every time I hear Sparkle, I get emotional, I get teary. Radwimps literally became one of my favorite artists because of that movie. And lastly, the roller coaster of emotions. Spoiler alert, from here on I'm going to talk about the ending, so if you haven't watched it, you can skip over to the next timestamp. There's the shock of seeing the split, not knowing if Mitsuha survived after everything Taki did, all of the trials and tribulations that they went through. And then there's that ending, the relief that she's alive, she's there. And then they don't even know each other's names anymore. They don't know anything about each other, but they still feel connected to the point that they have to go chase to find one another and ask, what's your name? What is this pull that I have towards you? It's so heartwarming, especially after everything that they've been through. And I think the ending touched me so much too because I feel connected to it. I'm such a helpless romantic. I love love, I love romance, I love happy endings, but growing up I didn't have the easiest relationship with love, and it felt like I wouldn't get one myself. I wouldn't get my own happy ending, and I was okay with it. I was happy living vicariously through other people's stories and happy just living life by myself. And then I met Vault. I still remember our first conversation because I felt this pull towards him. There was this connection and fascination about him that I didn't completely understand. I just loved how thoughtful he was, how caring, how loving he was towards other people. He's lived through so much of life. He had so many experiences where I personally was fearful of doing a lot of things, but he liked to put himself out there. He liked to put other people and his friends first. It was just incredible to see a person like that and to realize that someone like him existed. The funny thing though is meeting someone who felt right doesn't necessarily mean that the timing is right. For a long time, one or both of us just wasn't in the right place for a relationship. I personally was chasing the toxic ones, or I was just fearful of a relationship and didn't want to be with anyone. And he had things that he was focusing on that didn't involve a relationship at that time. But somehow we kept coming back to each other. It was like a magnet. I kept wanting to hang out with him, and every time I was with him, it felt like home. I felt safe. I felt happy. So no matter what was happening around us, we still kept coming back to each other. Vol actually had been planning the proposal for about a year, but when we booked our flights, our tickets didn't show the little +1 sign that you usually see when you're landing the next day. So we landed and realized that it was the next day, and we'd completely missed the engagement time. To make it even harder, the engagement photographer was traveling out of Japan, and Volt suddenly had to find another one. He re-explained the plan, and there was only one available time for that photographer. So after a year of planning, the original proposal was basically falling apart. But somehow we still ended up exactly where we were supposed to be. I recognized the stairs immediately, and I literally remember saying, "It's the stairs from your name." So we're taking the pictures, we're back to back on top of the stairs, and my friend who was taking a video said I literally took a deep breath because at that point I was thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to propose. But because it was a new photographer who didn't fully understand the plans, that wasn't what Volt was planning for the proposal. He wanted us on the stairs, not on top. So when I turned around and he wasn't on one knee, I thought, okay, well, I guess he's not proposing. So my guards were down, we're on the stairs, we turn around a few times just for the shots, and then I turn around and he was on one knee. I was in complete shock, and I immediately started crying. It was like an out-of-body experience, seeing someone that you love so much wanting to spend the rest of their life with you. Vol also wrote me the sweetest letter that day, and on our engagement anniversary this year, I sat down and read it again. And of course, I cried again. There's something really surreal about knowing a place as the end of a movie that I loved is now attached to one of the biggest moments of my life. So now, a year after getting engaged, we're going back to watch Your Name Again for its 10th year anniversary showing in theaters. Don't even start me. I'm going straight to the bathroom to clean this up. That was a lot.
I'm reaffirmed that Samika does not pay attention to things and she forgets things. So it's kind of cool for her because she can relive things like a brand new person. She can just relive.
There are a lot of things that I forgot, and it's so much more meaningful.
Say all the things before you forget again.
Oh my gosh, okay. Well, there's all the magical elements, so like the things like faith, bringing them together, like things that you can't control, like the impossible literally happening. They're not supposed to be with each other, they're not supposed to find each other, but here we are. The dynamic between her and her little sister and the friends coming together, like making things happen, how much they fought for each other, literally forgetting, and there's still like this pull, this like thing that you can't control or understand. And I'm a big like magical, like there's something guiding us, helping us, and in their case it's literally it.
Let's see if we get it. Nori. Good or bad? Really good, right? I told you.
What did you think watching it now that we're engaged?
I mean, I think it was, I'm glad I arranged it to our engagement in that place. I'm glad I set that all up.
You did a really good job.
I'm glad I went through all that trouble and figured it out. I'm glad I got a last minute photographer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was That's crazy.
But I'm glad that the scene was there. No one was in the location that we were in, and it was early enough where it was still nice weather and all that sort of stuff. So I think it brought up good memories. Obviously, there's things where I was like, for me, it was more of like gauging your reaction out of my peripherals, and they're like, oh, she doesn't remember this shit. She doesn't remember this. She doesn't remember this.
There's
oh
so
God,
many
she's gonna cry.
details.
Oh God, she's gonna cry.
I was trying not to sob too hard during the movie. There were a lot of parts that I forgot or just mean so much more.
I was reminded of the themes around the Sui and all those sort of things, which kind of like drew the connection a little bit more together. Like all these things had to happen for it to work, and like even with missed opportunities, there are ways to make things work. What part hit you the hardest after not remembering the entire movie?
Oh gosh, not the entire movie. Her giving up Taki to another woman because she thought that that's what he wanted. Like, she literally put him first. They literally fight for each other and care so much about each other. They're completely selfless throughout all of that, which is pretty incredible.
I think,
what about you?
I think for me, the thing that was interesting was some of the mechanisms that they use from like a cinematography perspective of like, they do a lot of these things where like something is happening and building up, and then they'll just like jarringly pull you away from it. So like, again, like the comet is falling, they jarringly pull you away back into perspective of like him waking up, or jarringly take you out of perspective of like she's writing something in his hands, and then jarringly it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of those things where they use those devices to like, you know, you're building up like an emotion or expectation, and then they pull it from you to really like mess with your heartstrings.
Yeah.
But I think it's like an effective method that's not like, it's not like malicious, but it is like to help you stay like locked in.
Oh, for sure. Wait, what did you think about her little bow thing that she gave to him 3 years before he met her, and he was using it as a bracelet?
I think it's just like him hoping for like an answer, holding on for an answer that he was, again, the entire time throughout the movie, he's looking for something, he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
And like that was like the attachment to that journey to go find what it is.
The longing for something. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
I think faith is pretty apparent in your name, but watching it, there's another part that really got me. It's how many times they kept reaching for each other and fighting for each other, even when everything seemed determined to make them forget. I never had someone who would fight for me before, but now I do.
And if it's also been a while for you since you watched Your Name, I definitely think it's worth the rewatch. Vol told me that the 4K remaster is coming out on Blu-ray, I think on August 25th, so it's kind of the perfect timing to check it out if you haven't seen it in a while. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.